Let's see. 4 minutes. I don't know if the stream is on or not. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm such a noob. Live. Says I'm live. That's what I'm seeing. I can see my chat. All right. Well, I said 4 minutes from now. So I'm going to give it 4 minutes. For all of you watching this later, though, let me tell you about this shirt I just got that you can probably only see in this teeny tiny little window right here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it looks like we got Mount Fuji in the background here, and then this beautiful bonsai tree right there. It's very nice. I dressed up for you tonight because I care. And if anybody shows up, the first thing I want to know is how is this music coming out, because it's hard for me to tell what's going on there. I'm going to switch back to, actually, let's change this dude up real quick. Default character. Give me some, oh, there's people here. Hi, people. Hey, how's it going, Chris? Awesome. So, pardon me. Since you're the first here, I'm curious about the music. Like, what does that sound like? Is it bad? Alright, thanks. So, what I'm doing tonight is trying to make a new character. And I'm taking it from this this character I just did for the most recent stream. And what I'm... Whoa, I just started Premiere for some reason. Sorry, I'm getting my bearings here. There it is. So what I've been doing is I started with a default character I made that had all the head turns and mouth shapes and stuff. Hey, how's it going? Galactic Sushi. So I was gonna stick with that, but then I ended up doing a bunch of stuff to this newscaster character, and so I think I'm gonna start with this as my new default, and then later on when I'm not live streaming, I'm gonna kind of fold things back into my template. So first thing I do is just replace the file in here in Character Animator with the new file I just created in Photoshop. Next thing I want to do is close this instance of Premiere I just opened for no apparent reason, so it doesn't slow me down. Oh man, I don't even know how I hit that, man. Come on, man. Everything's not responding now. That means you guys can't see anything. I can put this back on. No, that's the one that's... there, just kill it. Kill it. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. This is terrible. Oh, come on. And Premiere is such a hog when it starts up. Jeez Louise. Come on. Embarrassing. Wait, well, I'm 1 minute. I'm supposed to still be prepping, right? Because this officially starts in 1 minute, right? Yeah. Man, my task manager won't even launch. It's like Premiere just... I'm gonna have to update get some new RAM so I can run more crap at once. Yeah, my memory is what's maxing out. And actually, Character Animator is taking up a good bit of memory too, because this character got like really complex. Alright, I killed that at least, so we should get back to business here shortly. Worse than ISIS. Yeah, man. I'll get some better RAM. Alright, it does use the GPU. I can probably tweak this a bit, but actually Character Animator is pretty new. So they're in that early development stage. And naturally they borrowed a lot of stuff from, you know, the other Adobe products, but so I'm not sure how much it's leaning on the GPU. I know it was eating my RAM when I looked at that thing. This is unusually slow though. I'm kind of like, I just want to shut it down and open it again almost, because, oh, there it goes. Yay. Man, this character's getting really heavy. Yeah, that's good. You should be able to run this fine. You have a dope PC. Mine's pretty powerful, man, but I think I just need even more RAM. Alright, so the deal is Character Animator. It's showing my reporter, and if I start turning a bunch of stuff on, we'll see hopefully some magical stuff. Nutcracker jaw. And then my character starts talking as me. The head turns a little. Oh, there. It's not on, that's why. Yep, so character's head turns. It's doing the lip sync. Everything's good. So what I want to do though tonight is open recent. I want to open a recent project. I'll open this, and this character is supposed to be blue, and this was just like a quick sort of Photoshop sketch I did of her, and now I want to bring that into this new Puppet file and get her talking instead of my reporter or my newscaster. So I think I'm actually going to open her as a reference elsewhere, not in Photoshop, so I can continue to monitor everything else. Yeah, so I'll just pop her off to the side there. What kind of specs you got on your PC? What are you running? Okay. So now this thing is all split into layers. And this is my reference. And I'm going to start drawing off of that. Now, the name Blue kind of came up after I drew this character, so I think I'm going to try it with blue hair and all that kind of good stuff. So I'll just start with the head and see where I can get with that. Now, the kind of craptastical thing about these characters is they do get complicated. So I have like a front head, a 3/4 head, a profile, and then all of that on the other side, so left profile and right profile. And then there's also look up and look down. Yeah, dang it. 1080, yeah. Oh, your CPU's kicking it. Yeah, that's where I messed up, man. I got a new motherboard because I fragged one. And the RAM I had sitting around, I could only put 16 in. And I just haven't gotten around to like ordering more. That's a good setup though. You can do some stuff with that. Alright, so I'm going to focus in on the head background layer and just turn everything else off for now. And still a mouth hanging out. There we go. I'll even turn off the body. And I'm going to try to get this shape in here. So you know what, actually I'll just make a new layer up at the top here. This is probably going to murder my stuff here. I'm going to have to get the RAM though, man, or like doing this is going to be crud just because it's going to take so long for stuff to load. Alright, there we go. That's what I want to draw. Basically, a little bit of... Whoa. Hey, hey, whoa, whoa. I gotta get this big tablet down in here. Oh, there we go. Alright, so first thing I'm gonna do is just rough out my head shape right on top of what I got here, and then start coloring. So in order to do that, I'm gonna just break it down a good bit. She definitely had more. Wow. Oh yeah, that's right. I split off the jaw. You know, let me just bring this back up here and merge it, so it's not in my way. She's got a much thinner face and jaw line. So I just want to get that in first. I'll get rid of the ears because I don't want anything distracting me, really. Probably I'll shave it for now and then draw it back in. There we go. And then the skin tone I chose is naturally a little bit different. So start blocking this in again. Really? Prices went... Oh man, that's not good news. Yeah, I guess it was good a couple years ago. I tell you what, dude, I've been just resurrecting the same PC for years and years. I just, you know, I mean, it's it's all different parts, you know, now, but that's what I do. I get the case, and I get the motherboard, and I get the CPU, and I always try to make sure that I can go up, you know, a level or two with that spec, and then just keep swapping stuff out. Especially if you're doing a lot of graphics or gaming, I mean, you're gonna burn through things. So. That's my side job, is to make video games, so I'm always running 3D software like Maya. Man, that's crazy. I don't want to pay that much. No. Why is that? Do you know why it got so much more expensive? I just wish everybody could just have voice. I'm probably gonna do Hangouts and stuff like that eventually. So that's basically, I don't want to noodle too much. And on here I might just put another layer. Know what I want to do. I think I'm just gonna repaint most of this stuff, honestly, because now I'm shooting for my female character. Well, let's just see what this looks like. Frontal left eye. That's pretty good. It's really just the eyelid shapes that I gotta worry about, I guess. And you see, I even have like fake inflation. Yeah, no kidding. I think they'd love to do that. I know they were doing that with the GPUs because they got some hot new stuff. Eyelid top. So I got eyelids for like angry and happy and default. But I am gonna just start with the default. Oh yeah. Oh man, no kidding. I tried mining those things for a second. That was years ago. Got like 1/8 of one or something. But it fragged a GPU, and the power cost was, you know, so expensive that it didn't even make sense to do it. But I suppose with the proper hardware, I think I'm going to turn off my background layer just so I can see Let me get her over here a little bit more. Because I like what I did with this eye shape, actually. That was pretty good stuff. Left eyelid, upper default, okay. Mining the Bitcoin. I'm going to take an eraser to this thing for a second. Yeah. What about cryptocurrency? Is that the thing? Is that the next big thing? Kind of makes sense, you know. And the dollar is really, it's not like a dollar is worth anything, really. It's just paper. And even coins anymore aren't worth what, like their weight in silver or anything. So, you might as well just extrapolate that one step further. Yeah, I mean, the concept of decentralized currency is definitely good. I'm not so sure how decentralized this stuff is, especially if you look at, like, you know, China can go and mine just all the Bitcoin because it's a country, right? And they get their solar farms up and running, and they just mine the heck out of Bitcoins, and so you still have sort of the value of the things being driven by a single determinant, you know. Alright. Thinking something like that. Bring my brush size down here so I can get I think here I had just a little something like that. It's funny you mention that. I mean, you know, I'm making a short animated an animated series, and we're already talking about a lot of the ideas that I want to introduce into it. I don't want to reveal too much, but you know, for those who showed up, I think it's okay. Those are the kind of topics I'd like to talk about, man. It's interesting stuff, you know. What about AI? What happens there? What would that scenario be like? Now there's a guy, Geordie Rose, Sexy Uncle Dave. Oh yeah, I'll find you on Twitter. I'll get through this first. I'll definitely find you there. Wait. Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, Geordie Rio. Oh, jeez, man, I can't talk and paint at the same time. Geordie Rose talks about D-Wave, which is like the quantum computer that I think NASA and Google have them right now. There's only 2 or something. There might be more by now. I could be behind on my news. What? Am I missing messages somehow? Oh yeah, you got some thoughts on that? It's important stuff, man. I mean, that's where we're heading, right? Let's talk about that stuff. Is it a good idea? Is AI a good idea? You know, I mean, I think of myself as kind of a Taoist, so I don't really try to prescribe too much to good and bad in general. It's just kind of what's happening. It'll be interesting to see how it turns out. Oops. But I'd like to get a conversation going with you about this on Twitter, because I'm certainly farming for ideas if that's the kind of stuff I want to put into this animated series. Alright, so I dig all that. I think it just needs to be bigger. I'm really trying to nail down these like characters and the way they look as soon as possible. It's hard, you know. You do a new drawing and you come up with a new design, and let's see, and you like it, but I don't want them to stray like stylistically too much. That's pretty cool. She gets bigger eyes. I like that idea. And then let me just go in here again one real quick second, and I like to try to show roundness. Yeah, it is inevitable, man. I mean, it's a tool, right? It can be a great tool. And I don't know, I mean, if you prescribe to evolution, then the human mind was a favorable, well, maybe yet to be seen favorable trait. Depends whether or not we create robots that kill us all. And this is something we came up with, you know. Let's make other intelligent life forms on our own. And ideally, if they were to help us, then that would be great. Maybe we end up melding with them. Who knows, you know. And then, are we human still, or are we something else? Does it matter if we're not humans anymore? It's all really interesting stuff. So here, I think I'm gonna have to be editing the shape of this eyeball a little bit, and I think maybe, no, I'm starting to get too angry with that. I want to stay neutral. There we go. So I think, yeah, that should work. I just don't know. But I agree, it's inevitable. It's happening. 71% cloud person. Yeah, no doubt, really. You know, all of our interactions are happening through this, through machines, through networks, you know. It's I'm an older person, so I was around. I was actually around when it all started, man. My mother worked on one of the she didn't build, but she worked with one of the first computers, one of those room-sized computers. And then you know, I had the Atari 2600 and the old dial-up connections. And yeah, I watched the whole thing just emerge. Like, we had ICQ, and we were chatting that way and doing like text-based MMOs and all that kind of good stuff. Oh, did I go too far there? Oh no. Shoot. That feels like a little much. And now here I am, I have like all the world's knowledge, the ability to talk to like most anyone instantaneously at all times. That's what's cool about this whole thing though, man, because I think capitalism as a system is ending, because it has to. It's by its design built for self-destruction, right? It relies on constant production of goods and sort of a finite environment. I think those look pretty good. Pretty close. I'm going to edit the eye shape a bit more. Five people. Alright. I guess you're my only guest. You can just look at your stuff right now. I'm not sure where all the people went. I had a couple for a second. Left eye color. Oh, that, you know what? I didn't rasterize this layer yet, so I can still. Nice. I can still edit upon it. What else? Okay. More like that. And so this is nice to have the vector still sitting around. You can always. Pupil is too small. Yeah, you're right. I mean, by my design, it is too small. Let's see, do I want to make it... It's almost too sharp as well. From my design anyways. Oh, darn it. Let's see here. Let's just redo it real quick, like. Oh, that might have been too much. So Chris, where have I seen you on the internet? What's the deal? Are you like watching me on Twitter at all? Like, how did you find out about this stream? It's been only about 5 months. I was pretty social media heavy when I was trying to get a job in the game business, and then I got one, and I got too busy for all of that, and then I decided to do this crazy thing. Like, you know, I don't have enough to do, let's make an animated series. So I just don't remember who's who from my social networks, because I went out and started doing this and kind of attacked the thing again, and ended up going from like 0 to hundreds in a pretty short amount of time. Okay. Awesome. What are you planning on doing with it, if you don't mind sharing? Yeah, that's better. Just gotta go back to this now. So the nice thing is, just thinking of all this stuff in the terms of templates and reusability, it's not too bad. Once I get one eye built, you know, I do tricks to kind of get around, and you know, obviously I'm going to duplicate this eye, but also use it as a launch pad to create other eye shapes, like the angry and sad. Alright, so it's still not there. My wife is Thai, and I showed, well, half Thai, and I showed her the first drawing, and it was like, you gotta make her look more Asian. So okay, why is this thing not... Oh, there we go. Maybe kind of like that. Substantial? Yeah, I've done a lot of things. I don't know if they'd be substantial. If you look at the if you look at my channel, I mean, I've done some well, I mean, I was just kind of doing live streaming with this today, but also a couple days ago. I put together a few short pieces, and well, you can just check it out. I don't know if it'd be substantial or not. It's all been building up to this, though, where I wanted to learn how to use it and then start generating these characters. And I do have other people kind of helping out. Right now, I'm trying to secure my writer, or at least someone who can, you know, check my narrative for me. And I have a friend, man, from high school. We were like best pals, and he writes for Broadway shows. And I just got a hold of him, and he was like, yeah, at least go over your narrative and make sure that it's compelling. So, yeah, I'm learning as I go and just trying to get everything in place. And I don't know, I'm building all this off of, you know, I'm making video games for 15, 14 years, something like that. And it's all the same stuff, you know. How do you produce something? Okay, yeah, you got it, man. In DMs for sure. The biggest title game, I made the #1 selling kids game in the entire universe. I worked on Skylanders Superchargers and Skylanders Swap Force, and then I did the character rigging for Skylanders Imaginators Cinematics. I worked on Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and right now I work on XCOM and Civilization. I'm working at Firaxis down in Maryland, doing that stuff. So, alright, I kind of like how that worked out. I'm gonna just go ahead and paint in my ears. And you know, even the reporter, I got that thing, or the newscaster, I got him talking, and just watching that over and over again, I keep wanting to go back and refine little things. And before I actually create this kind of like teaser for this short, or this teaser for this animated series, I am going to do a lot of refinement on those characters. And probably at that point I'm just going to go silent until I get that done, or just do pencil 2D tutorials or whatever. Yeah, making video games is fun, but it's like anything you do in life. I mean, once you've done it for a while, it tends to be a job, you know. It's not a bad way to make a living, but I can't just say, oh, you know what, I want to make a story about AI and and just kind of go off and do that, you know. You got to do what the bosses want. So there we go. And maybe just scudging it a little more. That's starting to look more like my image. I don't intend for it to look exactly like that. That was just sort of a sketch. The reason I made the template in the first place was just to try to keep continuity between all the characters. Yeah, I don't know, man. If I'm being perfectly honest, I was, and I am, I was that guy, though, in high school who just didn't, like, get along. I mean, I had all these thoughts about, like, what high school was. And I don't know. So I have a lot of things I want to say about just the world in general. And one of the things I found that works is comedy, because we all have this tendency, if we're faced with the truth, like if you were to say, hey, AI is coming, and so these types of jobs are going to go away, like truck drivers, right? You think about a truck driver, and yep, I will check all that stuff out, man. Once I get you on Twitter, you can refresh me, and I will do that most definitely. But like a truck driver, I had a friend, Kieran. He went to work for Google in Pittsburgh on the self-driving cars, and so I mean, inevitably, what is going to happen, and it's not going to be that long from now, is truck drivers aren't going to have jobs, right? But if you were to tell a truck driver, hey, buddy, you're not going to have a job in like 10 years, right? Maybe less. You need to start studying so-and-so, right? They're not going to want to hear it. Not all of them. Some people can hear the truth and be okay with it. But a good way to tell people about the truth is through comedy, and I think South Park did a pretty good job of it. I don't know how much they do it now comparatively, but so there you go. If you want to be kind of an activist, if you want to be an artist, you know, that's what artists are supposed to do. They're supposed to comment on the world around them through you know, a medium like this. Yeah, all jobs. Well, again, that depends how we go, right? I mean, right now, programming. Oh my gosh. I mean, if you're learning how to program, you've got a job. No problem, right? And inevitably, there's going to be maintenance on the machinery. So, you got a job. But all that kind of stuff can be really intimidating to people. Let's see, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking hard now. Probably just going to mirror this so I don't have to struggle so much. Transform. Autobots, roll out. We were promised, honestly, right? That yeah, well, that technology was going to make our lives better, and that none of us would have to work. But the problem is our society is not structured for that to end up a good thing right now, because there's still people at the top of the chain who are like, they want to make money. That's why capitalism, we have a choice. It's, you know, we can either start moving, you know, in a different direction with society and the way it's run. I'm sorry, I'm like talking and drawing at the same time. Or, I don't know, we can watch this system burn us all down, I guess. Perspective, yeah, a little like that. Alright, so we've got that in place. I've got here's the left eye. I can get rid of the right eye. Contents. This just gets dizzying, man. There's just so many layers. Becomes hard to manage. There's this cool course I want to take on Photoshop programming, so I can try to like program some of this at least. Edit, transform. Oh my goodness. So whoa. Yo, I think right about there. Something like that. Alright, so we got that, and I can just turn the mouth on, so I'll turn this mouth on. And just try to think if that's where I want it to be. Maybe more space right about there. And then we should have a nose layer. Let's see. So this is all grouped up. Like here's the front view, and that's a group. And then it's got all these subgroups for the eyes, the background layer. I would swear I had, oh, you know what? I drew the nose. I'm gonna do that differently. I'm gonna make a nose layer this time. And I think when you call it plus nose, then give her a canker sore. Oh, I want her to be cute though. She's supposed to be like the young female hacker, not the evil witch. Oh, now I want one. Now I kind of want a canker sore. Dang it. Let's see here. So I don't want that color. I want this color, but darker. Not completely desaturated. Like that, I think. And let's see, how does my nose relate? Give her the wider nose. Ah, darn it. I messed up. I'm gonna get a new tablet someday. I have a Wacom 21UX that I bought because it was cheap when I got it. Oh, that looks bad. Very bad. Let's try that again. Let's try to approach this from a bottom down perspective maybe, because I'm thinking of this area here and then kind of like folding up into that, and then up and around like that. Oh, you know what it needs. Needs a little of this action here. A little bit of form shadow just to say this is where things are happening at. Oh, goodness gracious. Anyways, I was telling my Wacom story, then I got lost. So, it's not the best, I guess was my point. It's not the best thing there is. I need a new tablet. More herp? Darn you! Darn you! How do I do it, sir? I will make one with more canker sores. It's not this one. This is like a treasured one of the primary characters. The reporter, or the newscaster, I might give him some herp. How's that? He probably needs a little of that. I mean, let's be honest. Newscasters are like a viral infection upon society anyways. Unless you're a newscaster, sir, in which case, wow, thanks for helping me stay informed. Is this like trolling, like the comedy club, you know, like gotta have a heckler telling me to make this person fat and herpes ridden? I'm not against such things, but alright. Something's just gone horribly wrong. There we go. A little Hey, let's just go straight wooden leg while we're at it. I mean, let's make her a 300-pound herpes-ridden pirate. That'll be awesome. So like it. And now look, we can get we can give her this fantastic gray hairdo. Huh? Huh? Let's do it. No. No. We're gonna give her nice hair. Like a nice person. Oh, this document needs to be bigger, darn it. Oh, this is probably gonna dork with things inside a character animator. Actually, let's not do that. Let's just take everything, because I think I got room, and move it down a little bit. Just in one plane. So I can hit the hair up. Oh shoot, no, you're right, man. You're right. I'm afraid that straights, let's see here. If I just do edit, transform. I'm always looking for shortcuts. I don't have time for fine works of art with everything I do. So if I do that, and then, yeah, Photoshop, I want to apply it. Why are you always asking me if I want to apply it? Too much, right about there-ish. More like that. I do like asymmetry, and I would definitely do more asymmetry if time allowed, but honestly, that's the whole reason I picked up Character Animator, because it looked like I could do a lot of dialogue really quickly, at least. So I'm making a dialogue heavy thing, so that's... You like that? Alright. It's these boots I'm real worried about. I hate the boots. I kind of just drew them in thinking, alright, I just need something in there for now, but... Oh yeah, no problem. Hey, thank you again for bringing me the news. It's super informative. I will record the rest of this and post it up. Have a good day at work. And we'll catch you next time. Wood pegs. Roger that. I'm on it. So next we're going to draw the wooden peg legs onto this character. Alright, I'm just going to sit and talk to basically nobody for right now, which is fine, because this video goes up later, then, you know, you'll get to hear me talking, which is, I know, so very enjoyable. Alright. Just get loose with this again. What did I have going on there? That's what I'm missing. I gotta draw the full line. Yes, I will catch up with all of your social media stuff as soon as I hang this up. See what's going on. Maybe we can get together on something here. What I need next is my narrative, because I'm getting these characters together. I think I've got the look dev done for what my backgrounds are going to be like. And the first bit that I'm doing is pretty simple overall, so I just gotta get the rest. I've drafted the dialogue. I got other people working with me on the dialogue, so the dialogue is where we're about to get to pretty soon. And then lots of fun compositing a bunch of stuff in After Effects and all that kind of good junk. Alright, I really got to get looser with this because I feel like, and this hair bit, I'm going to cut that hair bit off so it can be dynamic. Yeah, let's just do that now. Give it some cruddy name for the time being. Oops, wrong layer. Yeah, I'm totally down too if I could find people to collaborate with. And collaboration is hard from my experience though, because everybody has their own ideas and visions, and part of what makes this YouTube thing great, and just the internet in general, is you know, everybody can get some kind of voice now as long as you have access to these tools. I know there's a lot of things fighting against that, but it's still there, and we should be grateful for it and take advantage of it as much as we can. And that's where I'm at right now, is just trying to take advantage of that. And ever since I was a kid, I had all these stories and things in my mind. And you know, back then, man, there just wasn't, I mean, it wasn't the internet, so finding an audience was hard. But now we got all this awesome stuff to do this with, and I want to use it. But at any rate, collaboration is cool if you can find people who are really, you can really sync up with. You know, I'm just noodling this the wrong way here. I want to get in it like this. And what I was going for on here was like, she has these shaved sides, because I think that looks cool. And so you'd almost have this hair just kind of, I don't know, neatly, or neatly, like a messy cut off of the side. Oh, I'm doing all, oh gosh, I always do this. I make a new layer and then I just keep doodling and talking and forgetting to change things up. So, collaboration. And I think that's what the world needs more of, just in general. Is collaboration. People working together on things to do big things. And certainly that's, you know, the systems we've had, and I was ragging on capitalism a little bit. Just because of what it's manifested into, honestly. I mean, listen, if you're playing a game like that, then the numbers can get fixed. And arguably, they have been fixed for a long time. And so that just stifles innovation. And I'm a humanist in that, I'm a humanist and a Taoist, right? The Taoist knows that none of this is of consequence. It doesn't matter if humanity becomes extinct or anything like that. But the humanist, you know, I'm sitting here as a human being from this perspective, and I might as well root for my team. And I think if the team is going to win, then we need cooperation, like an abundance. And we need to get rid of any sort of systems that are inhibiting cooperation. Alright. I over-noodled that because I was talking too much, I think. So then she's got kind of this cool bun, and I want to make that appealing here. So you'd have something. I might try to fill a little of that dead space with it. Ooh, that was like a happy accident. I think I'll keep that. And then something along those lines. And then here you have that bit of hair that's just creeping out of there. And then it would be nice if the back of the hair were dynamic as well, but I'm just going to continue to draw on this layer because I am not about to kid myself that I'm going to be able to resist goofing it up if I start making more layers. What time do I got? Alright. I can't keep this going too late tonight because I also have work tomorrow. And what am I doing at work tomorrow? I probably can't tell you exactly what I'm doing, but roughly, am I writing code tomorrow? I think I might be writing code tomorrow. Some sweet code, Python code. Whew, so fun. Way more fun than drawing. So I'm overshooting all this because you're not gonna see it ultimately. I'm gonna try to make that dynamic as well because I think that'll just be super interesting to have a bunch of dynamic things on her. And so I'm gonna pretend like I see all of that. Let's see, fill that in the rest of the way. Just make sure it's all buttoned up. Ooh, see. Sure, my tablet starts wonking out on me again. Then I can fill that. Wah! Boo, boo, boom. Oh, it's not perfect yet. Well, heck with you, that's alright. I talked about this in my last stream, how I need to start using other brushes. I'm just afraid. I am not a... I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm an artist. It's just like... my art has been very technical and stuff for a long time. And if I pick up a pencil or some chalk or some watercolors, then I get a lot more brave because I've had way more experience with those things. And I don't know why this freaks me out, but I just haven't really taken the courage to start messing with more texture. And then especially with something like this where it's like, oh man, I gotta draw these things like a bunch of times probably. I mean, who knows? I might end up hand drawing like frame to frame style a bunch of stuff. And I'm going to try to avoid that as much as possible, but who knows, man. If I can't pull off a shot, then I might want to go ahead and do it. Or preferably just rethink my shot, I guess, because I don't have time. So I was talking about how this character's name is Blue. Blue Moon. And I didn't have any blue in her, so I'm going to add some blue in place of the red. That's my album. I need a new album. Let's do that again, because it was good. These beats. Epidemic should sponsor me so I could talk about them, but they don't. Nobody sponsors me. I just do this because I'm crazy. I'm crazy about all of you. I want to make something that makes you laugh and makes you think. So I do this because I'm crazy for you. Alright. Not much luck filling these in. A little bit. Ooh, Chaiza Makama to the solo. Han Solo. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose my lines. I'm going to go ahead now and actually pop in some lines. I haven't been doing like a lot of lines actually, because I'm running the risk of adding more complexity than I want. But with the hair, I'm kind of safe. And it's like supposed to be black hair anyway, so one would imagine that there'd be a lot of darkness surrounding it. I'm always trying to think in 3D terms as I do this stuff, like pardon me, let me clear my throat. I want to take, like, you know, this clump of hair I'm seeing and imagine it wrapping around the head. And I think here coming up, I'm going to get a little more, like, you know, here. You can almost see this just popping out of there. What's this thing doing? This is just trying to break it down, like constantly thinking, all right, this is a three-dimensional object in space, and so I want to show that volume and the way it wraps around the head. And here I feel like something is not working the way I want here. Let's see. I gotta loosen up again. I'm trying to stay too rigid. So that's part of that big hair structure I was trying to define, but I'm gonna have some underlying structure in there as well. That's okay. Let's give that a little more interest. And then our fun little thing that happens here. There we go. Something like that. See, I need one of those drawing gloves I see all you artist folks wearing. I need something like that so my hand doesn't stick to this tablet so much. Do 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 do. All right. Well, I'm glad somebody showed up to hang out with me for a little bit, and that was helpful. I might have missed some of those things. And I got to talk a little bit about AI. The internet's a fun place, man. Let me tell you, because you can go down any rabbit hole and get really excited about anything, right? Like, oh, capitalism's bad, or the pardon me, the AI is going to destroy us all, or you know, reptilians rule the planet. You know, whatever you want to get into, it is available to you on the internet. Ooh, pardon me. And I'm not here to confirm or deny that any and all of those things is true. But, because I went down the rabbit hole on a few things, and I can't say there was like a net gain to any of that. You'd be really sure about this is the way things are, and maybe it is, and maybe you want to be an evangelist for those things, because you feel like this is, you know, this is bananas. People should be aware of this stuff. And well, I mean, I guess if you're a humanist and you're interested in humanity surviving, then that is the right thing to do. Now the problem you run into, it's the same thing as collaboration, right? So not everybody is on the same jam you are, and so it's really easy to polarize people. It's like that truck driver. You tell him he's not going to have a job. Well, he doesn't want to hear it. And then this cognitive dissonance kicks in. And the truck driver will stop listening to you. And so if your idea was to provide that truck driver with an important message that, hey man, you should learn how to do this other thing because your job is going away, then you failed, right? You didn't get that message across. So how do you do that? How do you talk about these things without polarizing people? And moreover, is it even, I don't know, is it even important that you do so? Is it even important that you go down that hole, that rabbit hole? What's the effect on your own mental state from doing that? I think that human beings, that things in general are more than what our senses can perceive, and I guess I'm an evangelist for the idea of manifestation of reality through human consciousness, and whether that's through direct physical acts, like I would like to manifest a bridge, and so I collect the materials and build a bridge, or just, you know, all of humanity thinking that reality is going to turn out a certain way, and the consensus ends up winning. So if the consensus is that something bad is going to happen, and I'm not saying this in a completely hokey way, because I think this manifests in many ways, right? I mean, you can look at it from a very physical perspective, that if you think global warming is going to kill us all, right? There we go. Global warming will kill us all. So now you go around, you tell everybody global warming is going to kill us all. And so what's the product of that? Maybe people start driving green cars and you know, trying to be conscientious of how their actions affect the environment. Maybe they're just like, ah, well, and then they just go for it, you know, who knows? I don't know. Some things to chew on, I guess. All right. I am about out of time here, but I do want to at least get an idea of where this stands in Adobe Character Animator. I feel like I should always end with that. So I'm going to try to think of something really interesting to talk about, because most likely when I save this, it's going to take a long time to load over there. Or maybe I'll just break that into another stream. Who knows? I'll tell you what. I'll finish coloring this hair, which could take me too long, too boring. And then I'm going to turn on Adobe Character Animator, and we'll see what happens. And then I'm calling it, and we'll come back to this character again. And hopefully I can get more people in here eventually to give me ideas for what this stuff should look like. I'm surprised the stream has actually stayed up this long without, like, barfing on me. I've had bad luck with that, but apparently my luck is changing, and that's when I jinx it and the whole thing, my computer sets fire and explodes. Alright, so I wanted some blue. Originally I had blue streaks through, or red streaks through this whole thing, and then my daughter was like, no, just the tips. What kind of blue do I want though? Maybe something like this. Let's test it out on this little spot up here. Let's see. Is that too dark? I don't know. If she has black hair, you would almost expect that you would end up with something kind of dark like that. Most likely I'm gonna do some form shadow highlights. So I think as a base color, this is pretty good. And let me just make that stripe in here real quick, because something, because I want to start messing with elements and like physics elements and stuff early, so I can see what's going to break before I put a lot of detail into things. That just determines a lot of what I do, really, is like, you know, how's this going to work in Adobe Character Animator? How's it going to work in After Effects? I think I've decided to use After Effects for hand keying any animations that I need to do. What is it, rubber hose or something like that? Not that I've tried it yet, but I know I can animate in After Effects just out of the box anyway, so it doesn't much matter. But if rubber hose or something along those lines makes it easier, I am all for paying them the 30 bucks or whatever it is. You know, I'm just rolling it. I mean, I don't know if you've seen my shirt, but it's clearly the shirt of a affluent individual. Not really. I got it at Marshalls. But it gives me kind of the John Lasseter thing. It's almost like a Hawaiian shirt. Oh my goodness, what's happening with my brush? If anybody wants to buy me a newer tablet, I won't argue it. Hair ad, I just did that. Did I just goof this up again? Just a little bit. I always do that. I just keep painting, forgetting to change layers. So so this is what I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna give it this treatment here. I don't know. I just don't know how to handle like where it terminates into the gray of the hair. I feel like that's just messy. I don't know. I know people get the tips done in some cool color. So before I get too deep into that anyways, I'm gonna need like a hair back, and this is gonna get a little complicated. This is definitely gonna break in Character Animator, but that's okay. I'm expecting it. Hair back, something like that, because ultimately I'm going to want this bit of hair back behind here. And oh, I just made her hair short. That's kind of cool. So I don't know, something along those lines. This is gonna get refined. Like, this chin still doesn't feel right to me. It feels like I really just have too much going on there. If I look at the body, she's still wearing a purple suit, so that's super sweet. Okay, so I just want to make sure it's gonna load in here. Oh, right, I was supposed to talk about interesting things. Sorry. Right. Interesting things. Man, I ran out. Now I'm staring at my markered face here in Adobe Character Animator. What are some other good topics? I mean, we talked a little bit about Bitcoin, a little bit about AI. Yeah. Cooperation. This is an interesting thing too, because like just in a job, like collaborating within on a team or between teams, that's its own challenge, right? So everybody has different personality types and different ideas, and you get a lot of conflicts in that way. There's some books on that, like Crucial Conversations, you know, identifying the different personality types and how to have effective conversations with people. So much to learn there. So I think education is so important. Oh, wait, whoa, what's going on here? All right, if I can get him to look, I am a transformer. Only one eye is working. The other one's broken. Probably because it's all named incorrectly. But I transform into a newscaster. Wait, this is actually kind of cool because now I can see. Let me just reset this. Jeez, it's driving me crazy. Set my rest pose. I can see how this thing compares to like this character. And I think, you know, I'm still in the same style arena and everything. It's not bugging me. Yeah, I'm gonna get some highlights in her hair. Maybe a little form shadow. And then some of that light form shadow treatment around the head. I don't mind using the same mouths. I mean, creating all these mouth shapes was a huge pain in my butt, so I'm not going to just do that fresh for every character. But I might, you know, just edit the general scale and everything to make that look a little cooler. Alright, so that, I mean, hey, that's better than I expected. What? I've transformed. Look, I'm warping this image of this. What is this image? It's like stuck on my face. I can't get it off my face. Alright. Perfect. Well, that's it, everybody. Thanks again for joining me. I'm going to come back to this, I guess, with my next stream. And I'm probably just going to keep doing streams because I'm too lazy to edit video. And this is cool. And hopefully people will come and join me soon so you can help determine how this stuff looks. Catch me on my mistakes. Help me out here, okay? I would appreciate that very much. And I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.